modern elements.
K-fashion leading trends.
K-beauty, which takes beauty to the next level.
K-content receiving praise the world over. Watch it, experience it, and enjoy it.
안녕하세요. Riding on the Korean wave. Welcome to Friday's edition of The Culture Wave. I'm Kwon So-ah in Seoul. Explore with us Korea's culture from all aspects and stay up to date with K-entertainment, K-pets, K-sports, K-everything. And all of that together with our Friday co-host, Bella Kim. Hello, Bella.
Hi, Soa. Happy Friday, Soa.
Happy Friday.
And happy Friday to everyone joining us today on The Culture Wave. I'm Bella, here to co-host and fill you guys in with some exciting K-entertainment news.
And we're also joined by Arirang's news features reporter Park Gun-woo. Welcome, Gun-woo.
Hi, Ganu.
Hi guys, and a big hello to our viewers as well. I'm Park Gun-woo, news features reporter at Arirang News, and I got some exciting news just for you as well, so stay tuned.
Gun-woo, I heard that you went out to see some cute little dogs. Maybe not necessarily little, but dogs are always cute, so
Yes.
cute dogs. Why is that?
So ahead of National Puppy Day this Sunday, I had the amazing opportunity to see these cute, adorable things, dogs, at the site. And those pooches are extra special as they are patrol dogs that have even passed tests to become certified to make patrols. So let's check out how I got on. Around 7 p.m. when pet owners usually get off work, it's time for their furry friends to head out for their favorite part of the day, a stroll around the neighborhood. These dogs aren't just on their regular walks, but are on a special mission. From tiny pooches to large ones, wearing green patrol suits, they're out there to identify dangerous situations, potential safety hazards, and individuals who may be drunk or lying on the ground.
Coco once found a drunk person on a cold winter day, so we reported it right away.
코코야, 혹시 이번 활동 중에 뭐가 제일 보람찼을까? Thanks to these dogs and their owners, thousands of reports were made in Seoul alone last year. And dogs that performed exceptionally well were given extra prizes. These patrol activities also mean valuable time together for both the pets and their owners.
We usually go for a walk once a day, but now, through this patrol activity, I get to spend time with my dog while also contributing to the safety of my city, which feels really rewarding.
Starting in Seoul in 2022, the Pet Patrol program has expanded nationwide, reaching cities as far as Busan and on Jeju Island. However, not every dog can become a patrol dog as they must meet various criteria, such as how they react to strangers and other dogs, as well as their overall behavior. 기다려. As you can see, this dog that passed the dog patrol test is very gentle and obedient. Though there's no pay, the dogs are rewarded with things like patrol certificates and snacks. Good boy. And the efforts of these patrol teams are helping to create a positive image of dogs for non-pet owners who may fear or dislike them.
I don't usually like having pets, but seeing these dogs working for public safety outside makes me feel good about them.
With over 15 million people, around one-third of South Korea's population owning pets, These dog patrols are contributing to the creation of a positive pet culture in society.
I know they're really contributing to society.
Yes.
It's a really important job, but Bella and I couldn't help but smile throughout your report, Konu. But yeah, I feel like some of the dogs could maybe someday become police dogs or even detection dogs. But Konu, how was this patrol program first introduced here in South Korea?
So the idea originated with Japan's Bow Wow Patrol, which is really similar to this, that started in 2003. And there was also a study, a U.S. study conducted in 2022 that found that areas where many pet dogs that stroll with their owners had lower crime rates. For example, these robbery incidents were reduced by 2/3 compared to other places that don't have these dogs walking around. And these cases helped introduce the program and contributed to the popularity in Korea.
Definitely great to hear that and want to see more and more of it in Korea. So how can pet owners, apply to this program and become the patrol dog?
Yes, so there are many cities nationwide looking for these dogs that can actively and actually participate in this patrol program as a volunteer. And for those interested in applying, I recommend checking out the official website for more information, and that you'll be seeing under the screen right now. But before you apply, keep in mind the specific criteria, including whether your dog is obedient enough to respond to comments like wait or come here, and remains calm when strangers or other dogs pass by during the waiting time. And to pass, your dog must meet these standards and score at least 70 out of 100.
And the program we hear can even send a positive message regarding abandoned dogs?
That's absolutely true, because although around 150,000 pets are abandoned each year in South Korea, fortunately, many people are actually adopting those abandoned pets. And an official from the company running this dog patrol program in partnership with local governments said more abandoned dogs are getting opportunities to actively volunteer for society.
As abandoned dogs carry emotional scars, their new owners often wish to engage in meaningful activities with them. That's why many pet owners who have adopted once abandoned dogs are participating in the dog patrol program.
Great to hear that even, abandoned dogs can take part in this program.
Right, no discrimination here. Well, thank you very much, Konu, for that interesting report, and happy National Puppy Day, that is.
Yes.
Coming up on Sunday.
Happy Puppy Day as well, and thank you.
Thank you.
And now time for the latest K-entertainment news with Bella Kim. Bella, let's kick off with an event that many K-pop fans have been eagerly waiting for. What is it?
That is correct. G-Dragon has revealed the details of his 2025 World Tour. He posted a poster containing the first part of the schedule for the G-Dragon 2025 World Tour, Rivermanch, on his official fan social media. And according to the poster, after his concerts in Korea at the end of this month, G-Dragon will head to Tokyo, Japan on May 10th and 11th. And the tour poster also shows concerts in 8 cities across Asia, including the Philippines, Malaysia, and Hong Kong. There is also a growing anticipation for additional tour dates and locations coming out that will be announced later on. Meanwhile, the tickets for G-Dragon's concert in Korea, set to take place at Goyang Stadium on March 29th and 30th, were sold out as soon as the tickets opened. So it was, crazy.
I can imagine. I wonder where it's more difficult to get tickets here in Korea or abroad.
I know, me too.
He's just famous everywhere.
Probably all around.
Right. Now, Bella, next up, a K-pop girl group that's doing amazing in a neighboring country.
We are going to be talking about K-pop girl group aespa, who proved their worth as a global hitmaker by taking home a series of awards in Japan. On Wednesday, aespa attended the MTV Video Music Awards Japan 2025 held at K-Arena, Yokohama, and they won a total of 4 awards, which is a first for a female artist.
Wow.
The awards include Artist of the Year, Best Group Video, Best Dance Video, and Best K-pop Video. aespa made their official debut in Japan with the single Hot Mess last July. July and have proved their popularity in Japan with 2 arena tours. And they also set a record as a first overseas female artist to perform at Tokyo Dome for 2 consecutive years. Meanwhile, in August, aespa will perform on Tokyo stage of Summer Sonic 2025, a large-scale urban music festival in Japan that attracts more than 200,000 people every year.
Well, aespa keeps taking it to the next level. I was trying to do
level, yes.
the post, but thank you, Bella, for that. And our last story for today is on an occult animation film that's been doing really good here in Korea. The last time I checked, 450,000 viewers,
right.
And now it is ready to meet more viewers overseas.
That is correct. The occult animated film Exorcism Chronicles: The Beginning will be released in Southeast Asia. The film will first premiere in Vietnam on March 21st, followed by Indonesia on March 26th and Thailand on April 24th. On top of Southeast Asia, the film has also been sold to 12 other countries overseas, including countries in North and South America, Germany, Turkey, and also Switzerland. The movie is based on the 1994 hit novel of the same name, which depicts the start of an epic battle between exorcists and an ultimate evil.
Can't wait for the global response.
Right.
Well, thank you very much for those updates, Bella.
I'll stick around.
And now time to go over to our AI anchor, Ari, for other culture-related news. Ari?
Hello and welcome to your AI guide to the latest cultural updates from Korea. Here's our top story. The Korean government plans to implement a temporary visa exemption for Chinese group tourists in the third quarter of this year, as part of its global growth strategy for the Korean tourism market. The initiative focuses on attracting group tourists from China's second and third-tier cities by offering themed tourism products in areas such as sports, cuisine, beauty, and culture. According to the Bank of Korea, an increase in the number of Chinese group tourists by 1 million would boost Korea's economic growth by 0.08 percentage points. The visa exemption is widely seen as a reciprocal gesture in response to China's trial visa-free policy for South Koreans, amid thawing Seoul-Beijing relations. Korea's temple cuisine is set to be designated as a national intangible cultural heritage. Temple food is a plant-based culinary tradition that excludes meat, fish, and pungent vegetables, embodying Buddhist principles by preserving the natural flavors of ingredients. The National Heritage Service emphasized its unique cultural significance, shaped by Buddhist values such as respect for life and mindful restraint. Temple food is gaining wider global recognition for simple, balanced, and health-conscious approach, attracting interest from renowned chefs worldwide. An exhibition showcasing mirrors that reflect the lives and culture of ancient people opened today at the Cheongju National Museum, featuring over 320 pieces. The collection includes mirrors used by shamans who believed they could communicate with divine beings, as well as various types of mirrors from the late Samsung Group chairman Lee Gun-hee's collection. Experts describe the exhibition as a one-stop shopping mall of ancient mirrors, offering a rare glimpse into the daily lives and traditions of past civilizations across different ages and regions. A standout piece is a 6.5-centimeter iron mirror discovered in 1916 and preserved in museum storage for over a century, which is now being unveiled to the public for the first time. The mirror exhibition runs through July 20th. That's all from me. Stay tuned to the Culture Wave.
It's spring season weather-wise, but also in the world of K-sports as the baseball season throws its first pitch tomorrow, Saturday, here in Korea. In our sports segment today, we will delve into the KBO and other latest sports issues with our sportscaster Jason Lee, who is joining us in the studio. Jason, happy Friday.
Happy
Hello.
Friday, Jason.
Good afternoon.
So let's not start off with KBO, though. We're going to start off with a very recent sports event, which was yesterday night here in Korea, and it is a World Cup qualifier match that we're talking about. Now, South Korea had to settle 1-1 for a 1-1 draw with Oman. So tell us a little bit about the game yesterday.
Yeah, certainly a very important game last night. And let's start with the good news, okay? So Lee Gang-in made an absolutely stunning 20-yard pass right up the middle, splitting the defense, finding Hwang Hee-chan, who also made an absolutely great first touch off of his back foot. And then that led to an amazing shot to score Korea's only goal of the game in the 41st minute. So one of the best goals that I've seen from the Korean team in a very long time. On the other hand, I mean, that was a beautiful goal, and it came after what was really a very, very boring first half for the most part. Oman essentially played 11 men on defense, making it really tough for Korea to get anything going offensively. And in the second half, with the 1-0 lead, Korea got a little too cute, I would say, in the defensive zone, and they turned it over rather than just clearing the ball out. That led to Oman's goal in the 80th minute. And what made it even worse, and perhaps even more concerning for the future, is that Lee Gang-in, who made that great pass I just talked about, he himself got injured on that very play and had to exit the game with an ankle injury. He was actually carried off. He was piggybacked, couldn't even limp off on his own. So very concerning. Korea didn't get the result they want on the scoreboard. They also lost one of their top players to injury. So overall, not a very good game for Korea in terms of the night. Also, Baek Sung-ho was injured in the game as well. In fact, Lee Gang-in came in for the injured Baek Sung-ho. So both of those guys, their future questionable, especially for next week.
And also Kim Min-jae was injured before already, so let's hope that all these players will recover very soon.
Yeah, Kim Min-jae, of course, playing for Bayern Munich. You know, he had an Achilles injury, one of their top defensemen. So the fact that he was injured, not on the roster at all going into this game, a late scratch. So very difficult.
Right, I was also very upset with the match. You know, the result as well, but the injuries of the players is always, you know, more concerning.
Absolutely.
But now that's just the first of the two games, as Korea will host another game next week against Jordan next Tuesday. What do you think will Korea have to do differently, you know, to take home the win?
Very good question. First off, let's make it straight that Jordan is actually a much tougher opponent. They're currently in second place behind Korea, just 3 points behind. So this is going to be an interesting match. Korea will definitely need to bring their A game for this one. And I think they need to be patient, and they're going to have to wait for Jordan to make a mistake. I think Jordan's strategy going into this one should be to play for a scoreless draw and hope that, you know, Korea gets over anxious in front of their home crowd and perhaps makes a mistake. So Korea needs to make sure that they don't fall into that trap first and foremost. So it's a matter of keeping the pressure on Jordan without pushing for something that really isn't there. Wait for the opportunities to come. And I think Korea is certainly the more talented team. So it's just a matter of being patient enough to wait for the opportunities to come. And I think the goals should come at that point. But once again, Korea is shorthanded. It's going to be a question of whether Lee Gang-in is going to play or not. I'm pretty doubtful that he will, based on how he left the field. Same with Baek Sung-ho, so we'll have to see exactly who's going to step up in their place.
Let's hope for better games in the near future. I mean, this was actually the first game of 2025 for the national football team, so I hope things can only get better. But actually, head coach Hong Myung-bo did mention that this was the worst performance yesterday that we saw, according to him,
since he's taken over.
During the qualifier games. So let's root for them. But Jason, one of the reasons that that we actually brought you in today, this week, is because we want to talk about the KBO, which starts tomorrow. So what are the biggest stories we should be looking out for this 2025 season?
I think the biggest stories are going to be, how are they going to repeat compared to what happened with the big stories last year? And, there were some big stories, none bigger, I would say, than Kia's Kim Do-young, who hit 38 home runs while stealing 40 bases, all while hitting 347 on the season, which was third best in the league. But the big question this year becomes, was that all a fluke? I mean, you're talking about a 20-year-old kid that just breaks out like that. A lot of question marks and people that are going to doubt whether or not he can repeat that. So let's say he only hits 280 with 25 home runs, maybe 25 stolen bases. I mean, that's still a very good season. And, it would probably give you some MVP votes, probably the likely favorite to win a Gold Glove as the league's best third baseman. But those numbers would be a clear disappointment from what he achieved last year and perhaps what people would be expecting out of him for this season. And I'm not saying that he has to top those numbers from last year, but I would say that if he were to bat, let's say, just 300 while hitting 30 home runs and 30 stolen bases, I think that would be enough for people to say, okay, he's the real deal. Last year wasn't a fluke. The question is, can he do it?
He definitely did amazing last year. Now, how about this year with the season opening tomorrow? How do you think he'll do this year?
That's a very good question. And I think if we look at how he did in the postseason last year, as well as how he did in the Premier 12 tournament, I think he's got a very good chance of repeating something close to what he did this year, what he did the previous season. So I would say probably hit over 300. I think 30 home runs is definitely on the table. Maybe even stealing more, because I think what will happen is a lot of the pitchers around the league will probably want to walk him. They're not going to want to throw him very many strikes, and certainly no fastballs down the middle. So I think there's a good chance that he'll walk a lot more, and that might lead to more stolen bases.
Let's see how it turns out. But other than Kim Do-young, Jason, there are other verifications you'd like to see?
Yeah, there's a lot of things, like I said, that happened last year and were those flukes. I think obviously the Kia Tigers responding as the defending champs now, they basically rode Kim Do-young's season to the top of the standings as well as the Korean series. So what will their season look like, let's say, if Kim Do-young isn't able to repeat last year's breakout season, or let's say he misses time because of an injury or something else like that? Guys like Chae Hyung-woo, Yang Yeon-jong, they're both aging, and they're veterans that might not have a lot of tread left on the tires. So, how are they going to do this season, and can the Kia Tigers develop some of the younger players to step up if something goes wrong this season? If you look at Lee Bom-ho, the manager of the team last year, it was his first year as a manager, and he led them to the championship, and kudos to him. Certainly, Lee Bom-ho did a great job as manager, but he really had a season where everything went right. So what would happen if some of the things go wrong, if there are some injuries, if there are some poor performance from aging veterans, if there are younger players that don't step up? How is he going to face that adversary? I think that's going to be a question that will have to be answered. And one more thing I'd like to see in terms of validation this year, I'm curious to see how the fans are going to respond after a record-breaking attendance last season. Fans attended games to the tune of 10.9 million tickets being sold compared to the previous record of 8.4 million. That's almost a 25% increase on their previous best for ticket sales. So will that be the new normal, or will last year be a blip in the measurement? What will the league do to ride that momentum to try to keep attendance up as well as interest going on the broadcasts?
Very excited to see if we can break that record this year, and also looking forward to this season as well. Now, what it all comes down to is, of course, the Korean series. How or which team do you think will, make it to the Korean series? How do you think it will go on?
The million-dollar question, right?
I know.
Every team, every fan base is curious of. I think the Kia Tigers will will have a good chance again this year. But I think the big thing for them, last year, they avoided injury. They need to do that again this year. And there's a certain amount of luck that is in there. So, you know, one of the reasons that they were successful was, of course, Kim Do-young. Will he be able to repeat his season? And those older players, as I said, staying injury-free. Beyond that, I would say that I still like the teams that made the postseason last year. If you look at, Doosan, Samsung, LG, as well as KT, I think they're all going to have a good opportunity to make the postseason this year. I would say if there's any of those teams that I like to make a jump, I would say KT perhaps improving on 5th place from last year. They added Hampyeong Min from Doosan as a third baseman. And I know that Kang Baek-ho is very interested in going to Major League Baseball. And I think if he can produce a big season this year, then he would be able to draw a lot of attention from Major League teams. So I think he'll be very motivated to have a successful season. And obviously a big season from him could lead his team to the playoffs.
Oh, well, it's going to be an exciting day tomorrow when the season kicks off for all the baseball fans. I bet including you, Jason, and also including you, Bella,
of course.
including myself.
Hey.
Well, thank you very much for those updates today, and see you next time, Jason.
Thank
Pleasure
you,
as
Jason.
always.
And thank you, Bella, and I wish you also a fantastic weekend. See you next week.
See you next week.
Thank you for spending the past half an hour with us on the Culture Wave. Have a pleasant weekend, maybe at the ballpark or by playing ball with your dog. And join us again next week, Monday to Friday, 2 p.m. Korea time.